Alright, I believe it's been a good over a year since I've made my Oberon build video on this channel some time ago. And the build that I have now is pretty much the same, only just a little bit of tweaks here and there, reducing the range by 45%, so the base is at 100, efficiency is still at 75. It's just that the power strength now is at 299. The reason why I'm getting that out the way is because at some point in this video you will see like a number of screenshots based off of this game where I was playing with Rainbow, and there was a couple other guys in there as well. He was curious as to my build because he noticed that I was able to keep up Reckoning for a really long time, and it's not like we've been in there for like 60 minutes or an hour, whatever it is. We were only in there for like, I believe, 25 minutes because overall they wanted to farm argon crystals. But I was able to keep up my renewal for at least 24 minutes because we left at the 25-minute mark. So throughout this game, I was able to write in the squad chat as far as with my build. I told him 299 power strength because he was asking. 299 power strength, efficiency 75, the duration is 128. He was asking as far as is the range minimum. I said yeah to him, but technically it's only at base range. Even for me, I'll just say that's technically low because if I want to use Reckoning on somebody, I'll have to be somewhat in the vicinity of them in order for my cast to actually hit them. Which brings me back to my Oberon build. 128, 75, 100, and 299 power strength. Having blind rage on Oberon is amazing because of the fact that if I were to use Reckoning with Hollow Ground on, as far as with enemies, 2 casts, strip their armor off, there goes your uncle. But this build is really focused on renewal, and I believe the guy is curious because of my renewal build, not just Oberon in general as far as me using Reckoning, Hollow Ground, and Smite. The reason why is because of the energy drain. The efficiency is at 75, but why is my drain at 196? It's because of the energy per second is going off of efficiency, and it's also going off of the duration. If I were to take off Streamline and I left it the way it was, it will be somewhere between like borderline of 2, because I'm looking at my build right now while I'm doing this. And if I take off Streamline, it will be at efficiency of 45. But then if I look at it, it will be at a 2.43 energy drain a second. The reason why that is because of blind rage. Even though I have the duration at a 128, the power strength is so high that the duration will not be able to sustain for that long. That's why the drain is at 2.43. If I put back Streamline, like I'm just gonna do it, right now. If I just put it right back on, then it's gonna be like 1.96. Having the efficiency right there is manageable. You could sustain that. But the crux of all of this is like, how am I going to get my how am I going to get my energy back, Kachi? How am I getting my energy back to sustain the renewal and the drain to keep it where it is? I got Energize. I'm not using Rage. I'm not using 100 Adrenaline, even though I can. But I'm using Energize to get back my energy. And plus, I've been moving around a lot in this game anyway, as you see in the footage. So if I'm able to stay in one spot while that drain is still going, even though it's a good drain, but it won't be sustained for too long because I'm not moving around collecting energy orbs, taking advantage of Arcane Energize. So there's a lot going on with what's going on with renewal. Not only am I getting my health back if I'm able to take some kind of health damage, but I'll be able to sustain it for a period of time just because I'm able to keep getting energy orbs over and over again. But just that, even though my renewal is up, I believe at some point in this, one of those guys went down. It is not even my fault. It was just because of the fact that maybe they touched something, or they got hit by somebody and knocked out their renewal for their side. But for the other guys, it still was on 120. That's another thing. I got a health a second of 119.6. Round that off, is really 120 health a second. So even if they take any form of damage, it will regenerate just like that. So this build that I have for Oberon, basically building around renewal, is not only great, but it's so heavily sustained. Even if I go long duration survival with these guys, my Oberon could still stand upright. I built this dude from the ground up. I know how he works, functions. I know how to use him inside and out. I already know his strengths. I minimize his weaknesses. Even if we were going like at least 2.5, 3 hours in, this build will still sustain. I will still be able to keep my health at 1200, because the moment I get damaged, my health is going to regenerate so damn fast. If I want to strip enemies armor off, put down hollow ground, use reckoning 2 times, boom, bomb goes the uncle, there goes their armor, and I'll able to use smite and kill them with my Cerberus, so on and so forth, and keep the train going. And since I have the what was my melee that I was using? I was using the Sylvan Aegis Prime. I got the augment on it. What you call? I think it's called Avenging Truth. I'll be able to get my health back with that. So there's a lot that I could sustain myself as far as with health. I could keep regenerating my health every single time. And it's not even just be using that as well. If I want to switch something up even more, I could take off Arcane Guardian. That's another thing that's keeping my damage at an absolute minimum, is because I have Arcane Guardian plus with the buff from Hollow Ground and also his base armor. I could take off Arcane Guardian, put in Arcane Grace, and that's another means of survival for Oberon. The moment I take health damage, it's gonna regenerate along with my renewal, healing me at a crazy rate. So I could go either way with this build with Oberon, and he will still be able to sustain, go further than most frames in the game based on how I build my Oberon. And like I said, this build is no different from the last time I did my Oberon build. It's just that I have Prime Vigor in there, more power strength, I reduced the range, and I still have the duration at 120.